I have background in business process in automation, actually. And just to remind the audience out there, right, let's talk a little bit about cost optimization, because sometimes automation technology or initiatives, they're not seen as revenue driving projects. We're going to talk about that. But let's talk about, saving and maybe budgeting the right way. Because again, automation, we know it can optimize process. It can cut costs to a reason. But I need to know your opinion, Eric. Where do you see organizations take the most, I would say, you have the most benefits of thinking about automation initiative, or if they have one in progress, kind of, driving it to the fruitful results?
Definitely, I think it is a valid question, and it should be at the back of anyone's in the space of automation, not just the leader, but had to go all the way to the staff or the team member of the project. I use I use this very simple kind of like framework to illustrate my point about value. I would say for automation, there are two aspects that you can look into for business value. One, the obvious one, is about productivity, about saving, cost saving. So you do things over and over again to the point where the technology will live up, cut the cost of labor, reduce the amount of error or free work, reduce the waste, reduce the turnaround time. So everything is about that highly efficient, highly productivity. But it is just only one aspect of business value. It could be sometimes you literally don't see the appealing out of it. I'll share with you the second tips, how you actually can turn things around and see it from a fresh angle. Just think about this. This is like a framework I use. I call it for any operation or any business. Basically, you have three things happens. You have the input and you have the outcome. In between, you call it a process or whatever we call or I used to use the term a black box, because what is happening inside, you don't see it. So the cost saving, the productivity, the efficiency conversation we talk about, it all happened within that black box. So if you see the other end, after you have, if you improve your efficiency to the point that you can't see any way out, then I would recommend you to look at from the other end, where we talk about the outcome. Outcome is just basically the all the let's say feature or offer that your product or your service promise and then deliver to the customer. However, it was just only at a point in time. I've learned from marketing this term is called perceived value. The outcome doesn't give the value that the audience or the customer take over the time. For example, your laptop, when you buy it, you say, okay, this is cutting edge, it's great. But after years, after you use it, your perceived value decline. Why? Because certain things happen. It is like human. It's very much like a human aspect, emotion, feeling, and also new need. So you see the outcome. There's a gap, growing gap between the outcome and the actual perceived value. And the customer, they only remember the perceived value. So when things like, say, if you use a service for Netflix, for example, you will forget every single great moment that you are in front of the screen, you enjoy the movie, late night. You only remember the moment that, number one, let's say Netflix, they overcharge you by mistake, by accident. Or two, the disruption of like quality, for example. So it is human, this anchor into your memory. So that perceived value play huge roles in customer service. We talk about, like say, customer advocacy, blah, 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 but it's all come back to that couple of black box where you improve productivity, efficiency, but very little effort to look after the actual outcome and make it in a way that it matches with the perceived value. So automation for me also have the real potential there. And actually I put it in practice as well.